I've saved up 300 perfect gems and a whole bunch of high-level grand charms. Today, we're going to re-roll those charms 100 times to see if we can get that elusive, that valuable, that extremely rare, plus 45 to life skiller charm. Let's roll the dice and see what we get. So I've got my 300 perfect gems here, just random P gems. I'm going to get them into the inventory here just to make this easier. Now, if you didn't know, you can re-roll magic items, including charms, by throwing 3 perfect gems in your cube and that magic item. Now, all these grand charms are high-level grand charms from terror zones that are level 91 or higher, so all I had to be was level 89 or higher to get these grand charms that we know can roll skillers with plus 45 to life. This example, I've just got one that's got plain 45 to life. So I'm just going to re-roll these and we're going to see what we get. So these are all just random perfect gems that I've slowly piled up. You see that I am using some perfect rubies in here. Usually you want to not use perfect rubies if you're online on BattleNet, because those have higher value than some of the other ones. You see that I'm not using any perfect amethyst. Those are certainly the best ones to use for crafting. So here we're just going to re-roll all these charms 100 times to see what we can get. The odds of getting a skill are actually 1 in 23, so we're looking for something like that, and hopefully some really good secondary affixes here. So, oh, that didn't take too many. We got a plus lightning skiller. It's got 3 to dexterity. That's an okay little side bonus. That's a really solid, really good grand charm. I'm going to set that one aside because I want that for my sorceress. All right, so I'm going to grab another grand charm to reroll. We'll set this one aside and we'll see what we get for a collection here. Okay. This actually is not too bad with the extra gold. You can roll up to plus 40% extra gold for your gold find barb or other characters that are looking for that extra gold find, but that's not going to get the job done by itself. So we're going to keep re-rolling and see what we can get. The last time I did this, when I re-rolled 100 times, we actually got 6 skillers and 1 godly physical grand charm, which was pretty amazing luck. So if we were to just kind of use the standard odds, we should expect about 4 skillers. So here we got Druid Elemental Skills. Probably your best Druid skiller. Still not great, but it's a skiller, so I'm going to set it aside and keep re-rolling. Now, as you see, I'm very quickly burning through these gems. I don't know if I'm going to get anything awesome, so while I'm burning all my week's worth of P-Gems, why don't you just hit that subscribe button, help me out there a little bit. Don't miss out on any additional D2R videos. Alright, burning through these pretty quick. 2 skillers to show for it so far. We're ahead of where we needed to be on our odds, so let's see what we can do here. Okay. Beyond skillers, there's some good combos you can get in grand charms. For physical, you can get up to 10 max damage. You can get attack rating, and then those can also roll with life or faster hit recovery or things like that. Additionally, something like plus 15 all res, those are solid as well. All right, we burned through our first 100. Let me reload. All right, we are reloaded with charms to keep rolling here. Now, I don't know about you, but this is actually my personal favorite use of just your random perfect gems. Obviously, crafting your caster amulets is always a great option for using those perfect amethysts. I usually don't have a lot of use for blood gloves or other blood crafts, but this is always a fun little exercise when you can save up a bunch of things. Although it can be a little daunting burning through weeks and weeks worth of gems in just a few minutes. That's not good enough. All right, some more gems. So the last time I did this for a video, actually I was caught off guard and I was unfamiliar with how rare, how valuable, and how powerful some of the physical damage charms can be with the max damage and the attack rating. And so I was confused and I wasn't sure how valuable and how great one of my charms was. And it was probably by far the most valuable charm that I rolled. It was an excellent roll with 10 max damage, something like 62 attack rating, and like 40 life. It was an excellent combination there. All right, getting skunked for a little bit here. Oh, bow and crossbow skills, not great. I am going to set it aside. It is a skiller, just it's something. There are certainly better skill trees to be rolling here. But 3 skillers thus far. We are a little bit ahead of the curve there. Let's see if we can get... Whoops. Let's see if we can get something more valuable. All right. Last time, the first skiller that I rolled was actually Javazon. Oh, hey, summoning skills. Not as good as P&B, but it's still another skiller. Hey, that was our quota already. We should have been expecting about 4 skillers. We're almost 2/3 the way done, and we've already gotten 4. So let's see if we can beat the odds a little bit more. All right, I'm gonna go get some more gems. Okay, we've got our final 100 perfect gems. Let's finish strong. There we go. Except it's a really crappy Druid Summoning Skiller. Still, skiller. We'll set it aside and keep rolling. All right, let's see what we can get here. Notice I'm... Oh, whoa. 15 all res. I absolutely love this. This is the max for all resist. I know you like to have a full inventory of skillers, but this is still a really nice grand charm. I'm going to set that aside. There's a lot of utility to that to help boost your resists. So I've actually had really terrible luck with drops of skillers in the start of this single player. I went through a ton of runs and I'd only gotten 1 skiller to drop, period. Now luckily that was a cold skiller, which is what I've been using primarily for my sorceress, so that was nice. But I've had a couple drop recently that were not very valuable. I'm really interested in getting some Javazon skillers to prepare for my cow murdering Javazon and some other options that are out there. Obviously always like your PCOMs as well. All right, let's see if we can finish strong here, and we'll take a look at what we've gotten at the end. So while I am wasting all of these perfect gems, make sure you get in the comments, tell me about your luck in re-rolling gems. Hopefully, re-rolling charms. Hopefully it's better than what I'm having here tonight. Still not bad, lots of skillers, but we haven't had anything really amazing quite yet. Hate to complain though. Hate to complain. Now you notice I'm also not using any sort of perfect skulls here. I save those to reroll rare diadems. That's also one of those things that is very wasteful because you rarely get anything awesome, but it is certainly just the thing to do. I love kind of these gambling, these sort of lottery type things that Diablo II Resurrected offers. Okay, so if it wasn't offensive auras, if it was maybe something like combat skills for Paladin, this would be an amazing skiller. With 33 to life, that's a solid life roll, but offensive auras, yeah, it's not going to get it done. But we're going to set it aside since it is a skiller and wrap up with our last 2 rolls. Let's see if we get anything of note here. and that's it. All right, let's see the results of rerolling these high-level Grand Charms 100 times. We ended up getting 6 skillers, which is a little bit more than kind of the estimated 4 based off of the odds. Because again, 1 in 23 rerolls should get us a skiller. The first one we got, in my opinion, is the best that we got today. We got a lightning skiller with +3 dexterity. Dexterity, not super important, but it's a little extra side bonus there. We've got Druid Elemental Skills, probably the best Druid skiller, but not super valuable. We've got Bow and Crossbow Skills, not a super important skiller to get. Necro Summoning Skills, not a bad one. Would prefer a PNB, but that's okay. We've got Druid Summoning Skills. This one, not really worth much there at all. And then, of course, Paladin Offensive Auras. Does have that solid 33 to life, which would be pretty awesome with a little bit better skill tree. And then, of course, we've got this 15 all res. This is an excellent charm. I'm going to save this, and I'll be using this on quite a few characters. Really great while leveling up and if you've got a little bit of extra space in your inventory. All right, so overall, I think we had some pretty good luck. We got some things of use. We really didn't hit on anything godly. Still a decent session of rerolling charms. Let me know in the comments if you disagree with my assessment of some of these other skill trees that I was kind of putting down a little bit, or if you think that one of these others is actually better than this lightning skills one. Thanks for joining me today, and I'll see you on the next one.
Farewell.